Let's talk about how to assign different things to different students. Let's take a look at how easy it is to assign differentiated lessons to your students in Classroom. I'm going to use the Create button and create an assignment. We have an Ecosystems Hyperdoc, and I will give my students instructions. Now, if you're differentiating and not going to assign to all students, you can only assign to one classroom at a time. I'll go ahead and add the first document. I've added my first hyperdoc. I've marked it as A. This one has no extras, no accommodations or vocabulary lists or anything. This is just general population. I want to change it from students can view file to make a copy for each student. This is very important because remember, that's one of those things you cannot fix once you've assigned it. Google can't go back and make copies. So make a copy gives each student a file to work on. And then I go over here where it says all students, and I look through and I find my student that needs the extra support, and I remove them from this assignment because I'm going to reuse and do that in the next one. And it might be multiple students that you do this for. But let's just say that student demo gets a vocabulary list that others don't get. So I remove student test, uncheck, and then I will assign this to 14 students. I see Ecosystems Hyperdoc has been assigned to 14 students. There it is. Now I'm going to make an assignment for student test who needs some extra support. I'll hit create again, and this time I'm going to reuse post. I'll click the reuse, and it asks which class that I want to reuse from, and I'll go into the same classroom, and there's the Ecosystems Hyperdoc. I'll go ahead and click reuse. This gives me the same instructions, but I want to remove Hyperdoc A and insert Hyperdoc B, which has some extra supports attached. Again, I change it from students can view file to make a copy for each student, and we'll look at Hyperdoc B here. We have an addition. Click these links to access class notes, and the student has been given links to the various class notes that they might need to do this activity. I'm also going to add a vocabulary list, and this will be a view-only file for the student. Now, instead of all students, I want to uncheck and only select student test demo. I can see it's going to one student. I assign. Now in the student's eyes, they got the same assignment. We have 14 students that got Hyperdoc A and one student that got Hyperdoc B with vocabulary. When I use the make a copy for each student feature, I can then go in and see what students are doing while they're working on it. Here are the 14 students. I'll view the assignment, and I see all of these students and their Hyperdocs. I can watch them as they work. Let me go into student test here and see what student test is doing. Here in my teacher dashboard, I can tell where student demo is on the document and what they're working on. I'm able to leave comments and ask questions as the student works. Now it's your turn to give differentiating in Classroom a try.